sign in. Are
you guys ready? Whenever you're ready, just get them. We'll just take our.
I need a special invitation, Bob.
We'll just take our leisurely time.
No, sorry. Sorry to rain on your inaugural parade there.
I'm not sure where it gets usually.
When I came down the elevator,
Logged in like you? No?
That's me. I'm already logged in.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like it.
Let me see. Let me see if
I won't mess with anything, I promise.
No.
Just go to board docs.
no, you're.
I won't look up nefarious things.
I have nothing to.
Well, I'm glad you said no. I'm gonna never let you borrow my password. I didn't want to do that. Oh, yeah. You've been Googling everything.
It's still not working.
I told him.
What's the one that?
Well, I'd like to welcome you all to the February 11th Governing Board meeting, and this will be two parts. We'll have a public hearing to begin with. The meeting will begin, public hearing at 5:02. We'll start it with a roll call, please.
Desiree Fowler.
Ed Franklin.
Sandra Kinman. Dee McCary.
Rob Varner, Superintendent.
Bob Candelaria and Abraham Rodriguez sitting in for Lynn Hoffman. First order of business is Desert View School Board stakeholder presentation, Gene Wood and Rich Van Nostrand.
Good afternoon. This is part 2 of the presentation that was first presented to you in December. In November, Desert View Intermediate was identified as a comprehensive support and improvement school and received an A through F letter grade of D. The graphic is showing the 3 years of test scores for Desert View Intermediate. Note that they went from a C to a D to a second year of D. But when we look at last year in comparison to this year's rating, you will notice that they made an increase of 5%, and the cut score is 60.11%, which means that Desert View Intermediate was 1/100th of a point away from receiving a letter grade of a C. However, when we talk about grounds for appeal, there are 5 different grounds for that: environmental issues, adverse testing conditions, school or community emergency, school tragedy, or other sustainable events. We cannot say that we were 1/100th of a point away and disagree with that because we had correct data when they calculated the score. Again, this is the compliance notification and the requirements set forth by the Department of Education. We have made all of these requirements. Rich and his team has been working on their school improvement plan. Again, I'm just sharing this with you, and the bulk of the presentation will be about Rich sharing what his team has done, because although compliance and accountability are important to say where we're at, really our next steps in the improvement process involve really detailing what they're doing next to make the changes necessary. These are the requirements set forth that must be written within the plan. Again, the required 5 SMART goals must be written within there. Evidence-based implementation of structures, instructional infrastructure, meaning that all of these need to be in place first. So the curriculum must be intact, and if they don't have that down, they're not going to proceed much further than that. So we need to pay careful attention to these structures to ensure that they're in place so that the school is successful. The second part of that, MTSS, multi-tiered systems of support. Number 3, comprehensive balanced assessment system. Number 4, professional learning communities, or PLCs. Number 5, observation and feedback. That really is the careful monitoring of their plan We cannot wait until the end of the year when we receive next year's A through F letter grade and be surprised by the results. We need to give observation and feedback along the way so that changes can be monitored and made in real time. And finally, number 6, which is the most important component of this, our leaders need that operational flexibility to make the changes necessary. So we understand that there are certain restraints that need to be intact, but we also need to pay close attention to what they're asking and what they need from us so that those improvements can be made. So again, Rich will now share with you their focus and their work on the 90-day plan.
Good afternoon, board members and Superintendent Varner. I'd like to start my presentation by just acknowledging all the staff, teachers at Desert View. They come there and they work hard, and we all work hard. And good things are happening at Desert View, so I wanted to make sure that I publicly acknowledge them and thank them for their efforts. Our 3 priorities from our CNA, this is kind of our overarching 3 major things that we focused on, and this is language that comes out of the IEP. So after we did our CNA, our Certified Needs Analysis, we came up with these 3 areas that we wanted to focus on. The first one is effective teachers and instruction. It's based on available student data. Our teachers are not intentionally planning instruction that supports every student in meeting rigorous learning goals, including differentiated instruction and universal design for learning. So that language comes right out of the IEP. The second one was effective curriculum. Our written curricula does not accommodate the need for all learners. And then principle 6, our school lacks consistency to create and maintain positive collaborative partnerships among families, communities, and school to support student learning. So those are the 3 overarching foci from our IEP. Then I wanted to discuss the process of what we did with this information. The first thing is this information was brought to my leadership team, and we worked through root cause analysis, and we looked at and tried to examine what do we think are some of the causes of our D rating. So I wanted to back up a little. Our leadership team is made up of 2 representatives from each grade level, a special ed representative, a specialist teacher representative, and then we have our reading specialist, and myself are on that team. And we spent several hours over several weeks looking at the root causes and going through some processes. Some of it was done with Jeannie, some was done on our own. And we wanted to focus on commitment versus compliance. Jeannie mentioned in the beginning of this talk was some of the things we had to do to be compliant. But we wanted to move beyond compliance and really get to the commitment aspect of it, not to just do something because we have to do it. So what meaningful change can we put in place to impact our students? And we had some honest discussions, some frank and honest and open discussions. And I applaud my team for being willing to take a look at themselves, take a look at us, and be honest in those discussions. Jeannie kind of mentioned this earlier too about leading versus lagging indicators. And we wanted to act. We didn't want to wait for the AZM2 data to come in, crossing our fingers and hoping things work out. We wanted to use the data that we have right now, such as STAR and other data, to look at and say, what can we put in place right now that will impact our students today? And then we have the long-term goals and the short-term goals. So the long-term goals were those 3 things that I mentioned earlier. And then we wanted to have a short-term goals of what can we do right now? What can we do in the next 90 days leading into AZM2? How can we prepare our students for that? So our IEP is focused on long-term goals, yearly goals, and short-term goals. And what I want to share with you tonight is those short-term goals. What are we doing in the next 90 days to prepare those students for the state testing? So we came up with a 90-day plan, and our first step of that 90-day plan was a data analysis and response plan. Our grade level teams met with our Project Elevate consultant, Melinda, and we went through a data dig. We analyzed the latest benchmark results and identified areas that our students were weak in. Then we compared that to the AZM2 blueprint, which tells us what's exactly the percentage of standards that would be on the test. And we identified key standards to focus on. So the teams did the work, and we looked at the standards, and we said, okay, what 5 or 6 standards are our students weak in, and how does that compare to AZM2? So we took the leaders took that information back to their PLCs, and plans were developed to address those weak areas. And this is what we did in response to that. We regrouped our students for Bobcat Block. So Bobcat Block is our reteach and enrichment period. We rearranged that based on the needs of our students. We grouped them better according to the standards that they were weak in. We adjusted our teaching calendar to focus instruction on the identified key standards. So rather than to keep going, we kind of backed up and said, what standards, key standards, that are tested on AZM2 do we have to back up and make sure our students know? And then we analyzed each standard to identify those key components, areas of potential misunderstanding, essential vocabulary, and Beyond Textbook provides that information, so we used Beyond Textbooks to do that. The second part of our 90-day plan was setting goals with our students. There's a lot of research out there that says that when you set goals with your students, it's a way to help them academically. And some of the things that goal settings does is it's a way to foster instructional relationships. It's an instructional strategy which has a strong positive impact on student achievement. It's an instructional strategy that makes student engagement a priority, and it's a lifelong applicable skill. So we focused on that, and this is the action plan regarding that. Teachers collaborated within the PLCs about goal-setting strategies. What strategies did the teachers use to set goals with students? And they discussed those. Teachers met with the students to collaborate on goals. And then we have a progress monitoring coming up, an additional testing of STAR, students of STAR. And then the teachers are going to take that data and they're going to set goals with their students within their classrooms, and then they're going to bring that back and discuss it at PLCs. And then we provided information to our parents on the STAR assessment. We did this at our last parent night. So we wanted parents to understand what the STAR testing was about, what information we could get from them, and try to elicit their help to have our students do their best work on that. And then the teachers shared the data with the parents and how they can assist their students. And that will be, some of that will be done at our parent-teacher conferences coming up in March. And then our third step was our intervention strategies. We looked at what are we doing for those students who just don't seem to grasp a standard. And this is some of the steps that we already had in place, but we kind of refined some of it in. One is our reading intervention program. So we have a reading specialist and we have 3 reading paras that work with our students. And we have been doing more push-ins, so where they're going into the classroom and working alongside of those students and helping them within the classroom rather than pulling them out all the time. Our Bobcat Block, again, we have revised that, and our grade levels are grouping their students in a different way, and they're putting more emphasis on those standards that students need to be built up in. And then our after-school programming, we have targeted tutoring Monday through Wednesday for all grade 3, 4, and 5. And then we have enrichment clubs 1 day a week: music, art, Navajo culture, mileage, science, and drama. So again, I have focused on what we're trying to do today, and I think that really helped us as a team, rather than looking at the whole big picture, which we had to and we did, but more of a pinpoint focus. What are we going to do in the next 90 days? So these are the plan. This is the plan that we have moving forward. Any questions?
Rich, I don't have a question, but just a couple of comments. I will tell you that from the previous year, from the 55 score to 60, that is a significant increase when you look at the overall grade average. That is a great job for you and your team to be proud of, and I appreciate that. what I really appreciate is that your plan, and when you took time with Jenny to do the analysis and the breakdown, everything else, I look forward to seeing the results. I think you have a great plan, and thank you, and your team.
Thank you.
Any other comments, board? Any public comments? Okay, Rich, thank you. Gene, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn public hearing.
I make that motion to adjourn the meeting. I'll second that motion.
We do have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
we're adjourned. And would like to now move and convene our regular meeting at 5:16, and we'll begin with a roll call.
Desiree Fowler.
Ed Franklin.
Sandra Kinman. Jeannie Carey.
Ralph Varner, Superintendent.
Bob Candelaria and Abraham Rodriguez, sitting in for Lynn Hoffman. I'd like for you to join us in a moment of silent meditation. Thank you very much. I'd like to acknowledge some awesome guests that we have, and thank them so much for their willingness to serve all along, all with being really great in the classrooms and in the community and those kind of things, because it's all about these kind of students, and we want you guys to spread the wealth. I'd like to welcome Megan Moore and the Student Council. Will you guys stand up? Hey, everybody. Yay. And please stay standing. I'm going to make you guys feel really, really uncomfortable. We have a professional Pledge of Allegiance person, as I understand.
Oh, boy.
Who is that? Miss McKesson? You do that every day, is that right? So I'm going to ask you all to stand, and the Student Council is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, and good to have you guys here. We're going to try to keep it short, 3.5, 4 hours, probably max. So we'll be good. I'd like a motion to approve the agenda, please.
I make a motion to approve the agenda. I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Do we have any comments, Mr. Rodriguez? None? Having none. Special business, great time of our board meeting, and we have got the Student of the Month recognition, and it'll be Miss Sandra Kidman. Thank you, Sandra.
All right. Uh-oh. Oh, I need the, sorry, I need the.
There were certificates? Oh.
Yes, I got it.
You could just prompt to.
Yeah. I'll just make us see.
That's right.
Sorry about that. Leave it on. Oh, good. All right. All right. This is one of my favorite things about our board meeting is when we highlight our students' achievements and shower praise on our employees, because we have a lot of fabulous students and a lot of fabulous employees, and I get to present these students to the governing board today. So that's why I'm turned. So you get to see my back, unfortunately, but we're presenting them to the board, so that's why I'm facing this way. So can I get Ariel Mayhem? Is she here? No? All right. I'm going to read a little bit about her anyway. She's our Student of the Month at Lakeview. She was nominated by our first grade teacher, Ms. Harris, because she's a great student, and she uses kind words, is very helpful, She participates during whole group instruction and in small groups, and continues to do her best by finishing every task that is given to her. Ariel shows her pride in the classroom, hallway, cafeteria, bathrooms, and playground. Ariel is a very happy girl, and it's nice to have her around. Students love being her partner and her friend. Congratulations, and keep up the good work. So let's give her a little round of applause. Then we have Hunter King from Desert View. Is Hunter here? No, it looks like we have a serious lack of students today. I wonder if they got the memo. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to read about him, too. It was nice to hear these nice things about our students. He was nominated by his 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Gilbert. Hunter started school at Desert View in the 2nd quarter and participated in ELL Parent Night by performing in front of peers and parents 2 days after he enrolled. He was nominated by his peers and is described as a kind friend who's a good listener, helpful, and hardworking. Hunter is very empathetic and always looking for ways to help his teacher and other students. He speaks up when he has a question or when he has something to add to our classroom conversations. He's an excellent role model who takes risks and is never afraid to try something new. His perseverance and determination to continuously push himself to achieve higher levels of success will help him go far in middle school and beyond. We're proud to be part of Hunter's journey, and I know he will do great things, says his teacher. So congratulations. All right, Cameron Sosie from middle school. Yay! Thank you for coming. I know that's sometimes hard to be, in the center of attention, but I'm going to read something about you, and then I'm going to give you a certificate, and if anybody gives you trouble during the month, you just point to that and say, I'm student of the month. So, yeah? Maybe I'll get you out a few chores at home. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but I know my kids look for every opportunity to get out of chores, so I'm sure you're much better than that. So, this is what is said about you. Your 6th grade science teacher, Mr. Martin, nominated you because you show pride in all your work, ask questions, and work well with others, just like a true scientist. You always strive to do your best, and it shows through your classwork and your understanding of what you have learned in class. You also raise the level of learning of other students. Thank you for being an awesome scientist. So congratulations. All right, and we have a book for you, and I think it's a USB stick, right? Always comes in handy, right? Mm-hmm. There you go. Congratulations. This way you go. And then let me send you. There you are. There you go. Thank you. Good job. Oh, and good job to the parents. We know that our parents are. Oh, did you get a chance to take a picture? Yes. Okay. And then we'll take your picture afterwards when we're all done for the newsletter. So I want to congratulate our parents as well, because we know our successful students are the ones that have support and couldn't do it without our parents. Thank you. All right, then Page High School, Simone Blackgold? Simone? Did I say that right? No, I said it. I'm sorry. Don't mind people shout my name all the time. So sorry. Congratulations. All right. Simone was nominated by her teacher, Mr. Adams. He says about you, she is a quiet student that rarely shouts out the answers, but rather thinks deliberately and processes information internally. This strength allows her to battle hard and work hard continually on concepts until she is able to teach them to others. Simone works as a great partner in her cooperative group, always striving to make her thinking visible to her classmates. She is consistently prepared and willing to learn in class, and that allows her to achieve excellence. Not only does Simone work hard, but she also gets involved in school leadership through the student council. She is a model Sound Devil who has maintained honor roll status throughout all her time at Page High School. Congratulations. Awesome. I like all of them. You get a book and a USB as well, and then just make sure I give you the right certificate. Well, you're here somewhere, I know, I just saw you. Okay. There you go. Thank you for coming. All right. Then we just have Mason High. Is Ronald Smith here? No? Okay. Ronald Smith was nominated this month because he has shown a lot of determination, improved during his lessons, and has been consistently coming to school and has learned to advocate for himself. He's focused on getting his lessons done so he can graduate on time. He has come a long way, and we hope he continues with his newfound success. Sounds very encouraging, and congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Kidman. And Cameron Simone, hey, great job. Holy smokes. Honor roll the whole time? Wow. What are you going to be when you grow up? I heard you were quiet. Congratulations, that's awesome. Ms. Desiree Fowler will present the Pride Employee of the Month Awards.
Okay, I'd like to ask Carolyn James to come up. So Carolyn is our Certified Employee of the Month, and she was nominated by Michelle Kalniftua. So I'm going to read everything that Michelle had to say about you. It is long. We're going to be here for a while. Everything Carolyn does in the school district and community is in the best interest of all students and teachers to provide quality opportunities for our rural students to grow. Her commitment and dedication to improve the district and supporting teachers is all done on a voluntary base. Thank you. She is at City Council meetings speaking to keep the public library hours. Thank you again. She is at district board meetings to stay informed so she can support and advocate for teachers, students, and parents who are not able to do so. Carolyn is also caring towards her students that former students are consistently visiting her. She keeps in touch with most of the students and their families to continue to support them any way she can. Breakfast in the classroom. She and some parents brought the attention of the amount of grams of sugar given to our students through the Breakfast in the Classroom program that led to a change in the breakfast program with the students' health in mind. Page Education Association President. She is an advocate for teachers and does what she can to support teachers so they can be at their best for the students. She meets with the superintendent on behalf of all employees that deal with pay raise, quality, professional development, meet and confer agreements, but not limited to, support in any descriptions between the district and employees. STEM team lead. She has volunteered her time to organize a STEM supply room in Desert View to make the supplies more accessible for teachers. She also takes the time to inventory the supplies so that each supply is available. This allows Desert View teachers to feel less frustrated and not overwhelmed about purchasing the supplies with their own money. She is leading the STEM team to begin the work of helping teachers provide science instruction in their daily instruction by first having Desert View teachers complete surveys to find the needs of science, then looking at the areas of improving using fourth grade AIM science data. Currently, she is leading the team in applying for a grant to assist with supplies and resource for teachers to implement science lessons. Thank you, Carolyn James.
Your certificate. Okay. You're welcome.
Our classified employee of the month is Leo Shepherd. Is he here? Leo is a custodian. He was nominated by Aaron Lively. So I'm assuming he's at the Page High School, right? Okay. Leo is one of the most hardworking employees on our campus. He is incredibly friendly and outgoing and always ready to greet us with a smile. Leo works hard and efficiently every day to make sure our rooms and hallways look beautiful. He quite often goes out of his way to ensure tasks get done even when they are shorthanded. Leo also has been helping me and others to learn and practice the Navajo language. It is so amazing to have a tutor that is willing to help immerse into the local culture. Leo excels at his job in general. When asked for help with the significant task, he is quickly to respond, and if he can't do it right then, he doesn't forget and always follows up. He has also worked with me one-on-one to learn Pacific Navajo greetings. He gives feedback on my accent or lack thereof, and continues to guide my pronunciation without judgment or laughter. He has helped me find the confidence I need to use the words and phrases I learned with others. Congratulations, Leo Shepherd.
Thank you, Desiree. I'd like to remind the students of the month and I think Pride Employee of the Month, see the guy in the back with the real camera, and he will take your picture. Thank you very much. All right, next order of business, donations made to the district. I will recognize the donations, and then I'll accept a motion in a second to receive these. Number one, 8 used Harry Potter books were donated by Tina Manson to the Desert View Library. Donation value $150. $422 cash was donated to Student Support Services by Glen Canyon NRA staff to assist a family with the purchase of a new water heater. $200 cash donated to PHS Cross Country by Scott Larson. $390 cash donated to Cross Country by Dixie's Lower Antelope Canyon Tours. 2 baseball bats and 2 softball bats donated to the Page Unified School District baseball softball programs by Lower Antelope Canyon Tours. Donation value $1,785.61. That's 4 bats? Man, what happened to the wood bats? They were $32. A check in the amount of $1,000 was donated to the middle school girls softball and basketball programs by Adventure Antelope Canyon Photo Tours. A check in the amount of $1,050 was donated to the Unity Club by Adventurous Antelope Canyon Photo Tours. Those are the donations. A motion and a second, please.
I make a motion to accept the donations.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. I'll call for a move into executive sessions. Requires a motion and a second.
I make a motion to enter into executive session to consider and decide on an appeal regarding a student discipline matter pursuant to statute ARS paragraph 38-841.03.
Oh, okay.
We do have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm going to ask the public to leave the room, and when we're done, we'll call you back in.
District hearing officer's decision with respect to student A as follows. He will be allowed in ASA starting February 24th for 20 days, during which he will be reviewed, and within 10 days after spring break, the team will reconvene and review his IEP and determine current and future placement.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to reports. Government board reports. Ms. Fowler, could you lead us off?
Sure. Okay, just making a quick note to myself. So on last Thursday, I had the opportunity to attend the Board of Directors Asia Committee meeting in Flagstaff, and we are looking at some positive changes that are going to take place within our visits to the Capitol Hill in March. Yes. So one of the things that was mentioned is that 76 school districts utilize Impact Aid, and only 23 of these schools are members of the Arizona School Impact Aid Association. So we are looking with ASBA's help to educate more of our board members and getting them involved with Asia, and also more advocacy on our part as well too, to get more people to be at the Hill and just making them consistent visits, and or not visits, but it can also be letters to as well to the Capitol. And then last Friday, I also attended the Arizona School Board Association Bolts training that took place in Flagstaff. I feel like every year that we attend the Volts training, there's always something new and different to learn, and I definitely walked away with quite a bit of information for my toolbox to expand my knowledge as a board member, and also some of the things that I wish I have learned maybe my first or my second year as a board member. But definitely kudos to the Arizona School Board Association for the awesome Bolts training. And then I do want to say that I did have a chance to attend the cultural night that took place at the CAB with all of our, gosh, I forget what night it was. Well, last month or so, but yeah, it was amazing. It was a great turnout, and I'm surprised to see the large number of Polynesian families and teachers that are here in our district, and also to have one particular individual to come out from Tuba City is my understanding to participate. So yes, that is my board report.
Love him.
Okay.
I'll talk for you.
Go
Take all
ahead.
your time. No, just kidding.
I only got 30 seconds, but go ahead, Joe.
Anyway, I had a chance to go to Bolts. It was good. Like Desiree said, learned something new. I know, after 12 years, and every time I still learn something new, and I also sent Lynn some emails to, what I learned, so we can do a little better in the future as a board. So it was a good training, it always is.
Thank you.
I was less than 30 seconds.
I also attended the Bulls conference as well, and I was really amazed in the topics that were given, all the way from school law, strategic planning, communicating, and school finance, and how to conduct an executive session. So I mainly picked up one track, and that was the area of strategic planning. I think we're at that area where we're looking at plans that we have. And some of the questions they asked during these workshops was, how often do we look, as board members, look at our strategic plan? Does the plan guide the work with the district? How does the board play in strategic planning and curriculum development? And one of the main question was asked, why a strategic plan? So what I did is coming back on Sunday afternoon, that was Friday, I came back, and Sunday afternoon I took out my little binder and folder to look at our plans to see if we were in sync. And first of all plans have to have a mission. So of course we do have a mission regarding students passionate about becoming, learners. And we also have a mission that provides Arizona's greatest educators for our students that we're producing. And then, yes, we do have the strategic plan. In fact, we've got 7 areas, and the pillars are something that we're looking at on student achievement, curriculum assessment, the culture and climate, the equity, the college and career, physical management, parents and community engagement. These tips really helped me last night attending the Lucci board meeting, because they were very concerned about the impact aid that we were getting because of the impact that, you know, the plant shutting down, how many students were going to be, you know, walking away from our school. So these plans need to be really looked at, and maybe at our planning session, we can look at some of the, I'll run some materials off and share what we'll be looking. Some of those plans also ask questions of if we're doing some hiring, also which we're engaged in here, and selecting our superintendent. And that's what I walked away from this. So it was very prevalent, very up-to-date information that ASBA provided.
Good. Thank you so much. And I know we had to cancel at Lucci in terms of the presentation. Really appreciate you stepping in, because I know you took some questions, you and Eloise. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was good. I've got to say, man, shout out to our girls wrestling team. My gosh, you don't want to run into those guys in a dark alley. They had 5 of the 7 qualify for state. They had 4 section champions, 1 second place, and they won the section. So it was really great, and they'll be participating in state coming up. And also our boys and girls basketball teams. Our girls were just phenomenal. They played the number 2 and number 3 teams in the state, and they demolished them up here. It was really pretty impressive. As a result, they finished second in the state Division 3 rankings, and now we'll be at the 3A North section tournament starting Thursday, but they won't play till Friday. The boys have been right up there along, only have lost 2 games this year, and they are ranked 3rd in the state. And so once the section is done, then they're off to the state tournament. So February frenzy. Good job to those guys. Dr. Varner.
A lot of stuff happening at the Capitol, so I just ran off some things, just some updates. The couple interesting ones, and one that's going to impact our HR department, is not only certified persons being sent to the ADE, now they're talking about classified discipline being sent to ADE, so those will be, if they're naughty, they get tracked. So that's, I like that. I like that law. A couple other things in here. Desiree and I talked a little bit about the empowerment scholarships, which is 1224. ASA, my association, opposes the empowerment scholarship. They've passed on party lines. Imagine that. So again, taking money out of the main education budget to away from public education, and allowing folks to take those grants to private and charter schools. So something that the association rejects. I think ASBA stands the same.
Yeah, they definitely oppose to it as well, too.
So this is going to be a, you heard the State of the Union the other night, and very, very big push from Washington, D.C. on vouchers. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be one of those things that's going to happen for a while. So advocate. So, and thank you to my team. Good job. We had a great time at Project Elevate last week, talking about the culture of learning. So a lot of good stuff happening.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to, there's no unfinished business, governing board consent agenda. This is an action item.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second that motion.
Okay, and I'm sorry, we need to read the statement. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Des.
A copy of the consent agenda is available at the district administration office All items listed will be considered as a unit by the governing board and will be approved with one motion. There will not be a separate discussion of these items unless a board member requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item.
Thank you, Ms. Fowler. We already have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Calendar of events. You have that in front of you. A lot of things going on. Also, board, remind us of our, of the special events that we've set in front of us. Make sure you mark your calendars, because this superintendent selection is really, really important, so make yourself available as we move towards that. Anybody want to add anything? I had a question. What is CODA, by the way, the acronym? Is it CODA? Oh, ABODA. What's ABODA? Regional Honors Festival.
Oh, that's a music festival.
Is that a music festival? No wonder I didn't
No,
know.
the regionals is actually here in Page this year.
Awesome.
So, choir, band, orchestra. So all the kids that qualified for regionals will be coming here, doing the regional performance at the high school level.
Wow, that'll be a treat.
So they usually move around and
Right.
just different schools host, and we're hosting this year.
That's great. Any other comments on the calendar? A lot of stuff going on.
Big day on Friday, we have our
That's right.
all-day professional development.
Right.
Kudos to the principals and Ms. Garrison for putting that together.
Okay. All right. Nothing else? Additional agenda items. Additional qualified evaluator for 2019-2020 is an action item.
I'll make a motion that we approve Shannon Garrison as a qualified evaluator for 2019-2020 school year.
I'll second it.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any comments?
Congratulations to her. She went to a two-day workshop to be a qualified evaluator for the state of Arizona.
All right, great. All in favor, say aye. Aye, okay. Item B, forms of contract for administrative certified term and at-will will be, to be utilized for 2020-2021. Action item.
I'll make a motion to approve the forms of contract as submitted for 2020-2021 school year.
We do have a motion, and Dee has seconded it. Dr. Maurer.
Yes, sir. Governing Board President, Mr. Candelaria, and Governing Board members, colleagues, and guests, what you have in front of you is the yearly update of the contract forms that we will use to issue to all employees. There is an update to the certified contract, the teaching contract, through the meet and confer process, working with our teachers and working with the superintendent, talking about the idea of, in the past, as soon as the contracts were returned to us within that 15-day period, if an individual wanted out of their contract, there would be a penalty of $250. In this case, in working with our teacher group, the idea was, could we bring that out a bit, which would be about a month, and really give our teachers a chance, if there was, they wanted to go. It puts a little extra pressure on us, a little extra pressure on our administrators, but it's also that two-way street. If the teachers are looking to leave, we'd like to know so that we can start recruiting and looking to fill that in. So it's a way to work with our instructional staff, show good faith, and in turn expect the same back from them. So that's the main change to the contracts. The rest is all language updates and dates.
So the administrators didn't ask for that same courtesy?
They did not.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then.
Okay, any other comments, questions?
I want to know by tomorrow.
No, I didn't notice that it was different
Yeah.
on the administrative contract, so.
Yeah. All right. No further? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Dr. Maurer.
Stay there.
Yeah. Item C, Page Unified School District Calendar for 2020-2021. A draft of 21-2022 are provided for us. This is an action item. May I have a motion?
I'll make a
motion to approve the 2020-21 school calendar, the draft of 21-22 as submitted.
Oh, fuck it.
We do have motion and a second. Dr. Maurer?
So the first calendar, the 2021, is been out in draft form now for about a year, gone through our site councils, received input from the community, had gone through some adjustments. What you have in front of you is a year's worth of information put into the calendar. That one should be finalized tonight, and then we can put it out as planning for payroll, planning for lots of moving parts as we move forward into the 2021 school year. The 21-22 calendar is kind of the mirror of the 2021. However, there has been some requests to look at parent-teacher conferences around spring break, some other moving parts that are in the calendar. So with that, as it gets approved in draft form, we'll look to form a committee of stakeholders from our schools, from the community, and then move forward with that committee work to bring in a new draft for you for 2 years down the road as we continue to reauthorize at least a year out for advanced planning purposes.
Okay. Everybody's taking a look, and any comments in terms of dates or anything like that you have concerns about?
I just wish we could make it a little less confusing with all the colors and the strike-throughs and the triangles and the circles. I don't know.
Is that the issue?
So we're
I like to look over the thing over and over and over again, because when you just look at it at a glance, at one point it looks like our Labor Day weekend split, even though it isn't, and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I remember having a different format one time that was easier to read.
So what we're going to do, this will take a little bit of time, but we will have a calendar that then has overlays. And so you'll have the base calendar with vacations and things of that nature for students, and then as you overlay each level of our staff, it will kind of make what you see in front of you. So that's taking a little bit of time, but we're almost to that point.
But, I mean, both of them look pretty much the same, except
Yes.
that 21-22 has 89 days first semester and 91 days second semester because of the way the calendar falls.
The way it falls, and then you'll also notice in the 21-22, I think it's Labor Day. Is that at the end of the school year? Labor Day?
No, Labor Day is in September.
Memorial Day, sorry. Memorial Day is at the end of the month, and so there's actually a week now of no
that before.
no school. So those are the two real major changes in the calendar.
Right.
I have a question, Dr. Morrow.
Yes, ma'am.
We have one feeder school, Kaibito. How close do you work with them doing your calendar?
We don't reach out to them, they reach out to us,
Okay.
and just request our advanced calendars so they can help build.
Yes.
It's the same with and
Okay.
Seattle.
Oh.
So they really, us providing these calendars out in advance helps our surrounding communities really build theirs.
We've been really consistent with our calendar, though, for the last few years.
Yes.
Had exercises, and then all the things that we used to have trouble with, I think we ironed out, like Tuba City Fair and all that stuff.
Correct.
Coconino County and Tuba City.
Okay. Well, I know this isn't an easy task. You work with staff and others to make sure we're compliant to begin with, and we've taken advantage of an awful lot of days to where people get a little more time off and those kind of things, so that's awesome. So thank you for all the work.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Any further? No? We're good? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next item, future items. You've got them in front of you. Anything if you have anything now that you'd like to mention that strikes you? I'll mention one thing. I'm going to have Shannon Garrison come in just to talk to us about PLCs, but then also tools and resources that we have actually commissioned $1.4 million worth, and how that is playing in, and just some practical stuff. So I'm going to ask her to do that in probably the next one, I think the 25th potentially. Yes.
also like to see any kind of, budget planning with the loss of supply of impact aid,
Okay.
a budget,
Started work on that today.
yes.
Did you hear that, Bindi?
That was asked for at that meeting.
We started our staffing meetings today. Terry, Vindy, Jeannie, and Shannon did look at numbers and loss of students and how that's going to impact our.
Yes.
So,
Nice, and
should have something together in a couple of weeks.
is that, I didn't hear the last portion, but can you just say that again? Is that for just the budget overall?
Yes.
Okay. And then I also want to have a presentation possibly given to us, the impact of what NGS is going to look like on our budget as well too, in the future.
Okay. Sounds like that's underway.
It's all going to tie together, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And if you have anything other than that, that you think of something, go ahead and bring it up. We'll get that on. Okay. Item number 11.
I make a motion.
Okay.
You're
To
my
adjourn.
boss, better do it quick.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I need a second. We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned, 6:42. Thank you.
Any paperwork tonight?
I'm sure, do we have anything to sign?
Yes. Yes, there is. Please stay. I'm just gonna grab it.
And it reminded me,
That's the longest part of the evening, Mr.
I will scan them to you so you can sign them before me so that you have no further delay.
You are so sweet. You are just.
You should appreciate me way more. Where's all the paperwork?
You've come out with a different disposition. Where'd you go on vacation? Mark?
Yeah, I did go on vacation.
Take off that.
See? How much that helped?
Take off that.
You should have seen my two little ones at Six Flags roller coasters. Holy bleep. That's all I'm gonna say.
there we got the answer.
My little 6-year-old, he was barely enough, tall enough to go on this roller coaster called X2. I thought it was gonna die. I thought it was gonna have to plan two funerals for two little kids.
Whatever they have, they gotta figure it out.
Later on, I found out it was only 1 minute long. It was the longest minute of my life.
JoJo wasn't
I had
happy.
my eyes closed the entire time,
Oh.
praying that
That's-
my family would
she's
come
going
up
to
this roller coaster
That's
alive. I am not kidding you.
Got kids over here.
I have prayed hard in my life. This
But
one
she's
ranked
one
in
of
the
the
top
ones-
10 prayers.
Here comes
I'm
the
not
office.
even kidding you. I was cursing myself for putting them on there.
She'll be
We
able to
get
touch
off the
her.
roller coaster, my 8-year-old says, "Mom, I lost the shoe." My 6-year-old,
Flipped off during
Yes.
the ride?
my 6-year-old, we come out where they, you know how they take those pictures in the amusement park? Every one of us is like in there with sheer faces of terror, with closed eyes, except the two youngest ones. The second youngest one smiling with his eyes closed, and the little one who's barely tall enough, eyes wide open, grinning from one ear to another like, this is the best day of my life ever. Oh my gosh. And then I decided we need to go back one time, not like, again in a few years, when they're all tall enough for all rides.
Right.
And then I'll keep my eyes closed open on that roller coaster. I watched it on YouTube afterwards, and about had a heart attack. Just going, oh my gosh, I can't believe I... No, it's, you sit in these chairs, and they put you in backwards, and it goes and it spins, and then on top of it, depending on what goes, your chair spins too. Inversions, loops, I mean, oh my gosh.
You didn't lose your lunch or nothing?
No, I didn't. Go Google it. X2 Six Flags Magic Mountain. To test their stamina or something. Oh, I came out of I could walk afterwards, but oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna plan some funerals.
My girls who love me, we live in California. They used to love going up to Six Flags and Magic
Oh, yeah?
Mountain.
Yeah, that's
I mean, the
where we
summertime
went.
they would go almost every other month, and when they were in high school, and
Yeah, well, when you live in that area, I would have season passes for my kids. I would probably say, yeah, let's go for 2 or 3 roller coasters tonight, and then come back.
we always got the military discounts
Oh,
and
that's nice.
almost half the price, but yeah, up there, and we went usually once a year with them, but, yeah. After,
It's taking longer than I think.
after a while, it was just easier when you had 3 teenagers who said, go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I am too, so I'm gonna find
I mean, those 2 little boys, they had more stamina than the teenagers did. Like, my 18-year-old, my 18-year-old's like, she's like about 6 apart, and she's like, I think I've had enough. I'm done. And the little ones were like, no, one more time.
Because if you go, then we all gotta go.
Thank you, it was, smooth one.
Yeah, yeah.
John, like I said, my question is, then we can come back and we'll have it. Well, I won't be here for the next meeting. I'm gonna be out in Colorado. So, yeah, I gotta go down there for HR conference for a few days.
My eulogy.
Here we go.
Hey, come on now.
Did you ever sign it?
Yes.
Sally, if you need some of some chili, I'll come set you free. I'll make you some green chili. It'll get you close to the throne of God.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Just for you guys' information, I did talk to Steve.
Feel better.
And 22 people had full applications. He's got 14 back, and 2 more that he knew were going to complete theirs.
Oh, that's not too bad.
And we still have and the great thing he said was that if these, there was one specific, if they hadn't applied, he was going to call them personally.
Oh.
So he was already vouching for somebody, I don't know anything, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good turnout for our community.
Yeah, well, now we need to look at the quality of the application.
Of course.
Over to Dee. Thank you.
Well, everybody, at our second meeting this month, I won't be here. I'll be in Colorado for a few days.
All righty, sir. Go sushi, are you going to ski?
No. I'm going, I'll be down there for 3 days for a 7-hour meeting.
3 days for a 7. Wow, this is a government operation now, right here. Wow.
You know it.
Sound like you work for SRP. I had to go to the Oklahoma for 7 days because we're going to meet for 4 hours. By the way, we fly fishing.
Yeah, there you go. Get something out of it.
I've done that before.
That sounds enjoyable.
I'm on a national committee, and we were crazy. We were doing environmental.
How'd you like Bolts? Did you like the Bolts conference?
Oh, I did.
It was good, wasn't
Thoroughly
it?
enjoyed it.
That's my,
And I was kind of looking back and I was thinking, I wish we had that when I first joined the board.
we did. You know,
I
what are you
don't
talking about?
remember, maybe it's because I've been working with all that and I want a refresher.
Yeah, no. That's the one conference I go to every year.
Do you?
I think I only missed once. Because that's my favorite one because it's only one day. It's a good refresher and they always have something new and it doesn't drag on for days and days and days. I don't like those 2 or 3 day long
I haven't been going to any
conferences.
of that conferences this year. I have a husband that has arthritis in his
Oh,
backbone
no.
and he gets shots down Cottonwood, so there's no one
Oh.
to drive him.
Yeah.
So I've been driving him down there.
Oh my, that's a lot of driving.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, Bolts is my favorite. They used to have, then one a month later, it was a law conference / legislative update, but they don't do that anymore. I used to enjoy that one because they would basically like, right after the whole, legislative session was finished, they would tell you everything that happened at the legislature, and that was really good.
Well, I read those.
Yeah, but they don't do that conference anymore. They just send out the emails now, but it used to be a conference. And I like that one because you were able to ask a lot of questions, so it's, but they don't do it anymore. They do equity instead now. So, anyway.
Oh, I got scared. I couldn't find my key. On my We'll see ya. Who makes your biscuit and gravy over there?
My
We
husband.
tried some.
You like them?
Oh, God.
Yeah, my
Yum,
husband.
yum.
My husband loves biscuits. I don't like them. Like every time my husband gets them, I'm always like, oh, that looks really good. And I take a bite and I'm like, no, still don't like them.
Oh.
But he likes them. I'm glad you like them.
Yeah,
I
I
just-
got
I'm
my
not a-
bowl and
yeah.
I brought it home and
Oh,
I
yeah?
said, I have 15 orders. He said, where'd you get that?
Oh, good.
And
Oh, is that your
So-
husband?
so I had to go back over and get him some. So, to hit with us.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you like them.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, but you can thank my husband for that one. He's the one that did that. I'll tell him that you love him. He'll be happy. Thank you. I'll be out of here in a minute.
I'll see you. Thank you much.
Of course. Have a good night.
Yeah.